Hey everybody, welcome to the Dano channel. I am Dano and I'm here again talking about the Galactic Starcruiser. Finally booked a trip. I'm so happy I get to go. I'm going to be there on March 3rd for the second voyage. And we actually it was kind of a pain in the butt to book that cruise. And I didn't have to do it. I have a wonderful travel agent you might have seen in my last Galactic Starcruiser video, SaraJayMac. We've seen her on Instagram, TikTok, and I've got her here with us today. And we're going to talk about everything she learned and basically give you all the information so you're prepped and ready. So on October 28th, if you're trying to book, you know exactly what to expect and what you're doing. So here is my friend Sara.
Hello, thank you for having me back.
Glad to see you here.
Yes, I'm SaraJayMac. I am a travel agent for Carry On the Magic. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at SaraJayMac, and our travel agency is, I said, Carry On the Magic. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, so booking Galactic Starcruiser is much like trying to go to space for real.
Right? It's a whole ordeal, isn't it?
Yes, it was. So Disney changed the way that their booking queue is working right now, and I'm going to try to explain this as concisely as possible with words because it makes more sense visually, but here's what I'll explain. There is a main booking queue that you get into, and you have the actual Disney booking agents that are going to be helping you, the cast members. Now, it's limited capacity in there. So once it fills up, typically what would happen prior to Galactic Starcruiser is once that queue fills up, they just cut it off, and if you're trying to call, it says all circuits are busy. Now, what they've done for this is they implemented a standby queue that precedes that. So you get into the standby queue, you wait and you wait and you wait, and you get to a gatekeeper, and then the gatekeeper looks and says, okay, there's room in the booking queue, so I'll transfer you over. If it's closed, and it was closed for most of the day on Thursday when we were trying to book, they say, I'm so sorry, the booking queue is closed, please call back later. So you hang up and you start at the beginning again, and you do this over and over until they say, oh, okay, the booking queue's open, we'll move you over here.
Yeah,
and so
that's crazy.
Yeah, and the thing is, this standby queue, it was taking me about an hour and a half, 2 hours to get to the gatekeeper each time.
To be told, start over.
To be told, start over. Yeah.
Wow.
So some people were very lucky. I mean, I started calling before the phone lines even opened. And some people were
the whole ordeal took like 12 hours, just about, right?
It was 12 and a half hours. So I waited in these loops for 11 hours, and then I had 90, as a travel agent, I had 90 minutes with the cast member to book as many trips as possible. And even that takes a long time because there's so many details to go over. so it like takes a while.
That is reason number one. That's like proof positive as to why you should go through a travel agent on this. I was at work all day. I mean, I started at 4 a.m. my time. I was up with all of us in the group chat, you know, being ready in case you needed more details or whatever. I was like, you know what, I'm going to get up early. I was up at 4 a.m. my time, and it wasn't until like almost 4 o'clock my time. I'm at work. It's like, there was no way I could have done this myself without your help. So for anyone else who's watching and is interested in booking on October 28th, go through a travel agent. Hit up Sara, because that's your job. That's what you do, is you do the work, and like you said, you have 90 minutes. So once you do finally make it through, that's when you can book all the trips for all your different clients you've got lined up. So you've got a really good booking for, like a pre-booking form that I'll put as a link. It'll be a pinned comment down below, guys. So anyone who's watching, if you want to hit her up, she can get your information, gather it, be organized and ready, so that when she does make it through to the actual queue, she's ready to go and ready to help book your vacation. But you've got more outline, more of what we should expect. So what do we got? What do we got next?
Yes, so there is a ton of information that you're going to need to book this. And when you do call in, whether you do it yourself or with a travel agent, they are going to vet you and make sure that you have everything that you need in order to book this experience. And it's going to take a while because it's a lot of information. So make sure that you have that. That takes a little bit of time too, is just getting all of this information gathered. But you're going to need, at a minimum, the lead guest's information. So the lead guest that is on your reservation cannot change. It can, well, I'll back up. It can change, but you need to be sure that that's the person that's going to be going. You need all of their basic contact information: name, address, email, phone number, their credit card. And then you're going to need the additional guests and their ages if they are under 18. The other things that you're going to need are your voyage date preferences and your cabin type preferences. So you can, for early booking, we had a limited window. For general booking, when that opens up, you'll be able to book March 2022 all the way through the end of September 2022.
And the reason you said range of dates is because, just so people who are getting ready, you may not get the date you initially want. Right. As of right now, I was looking, and the first two are no longer, they're showing not available on the website. Not that that website is exactly accurate, but they've removed them as an option altogether. And general bookings haven't even opened up yet. And the first two are gone. So just mentally prepare yourself for a range of dates. In case you don't get the one you want, be ready for an alternate or even a third alternate, but communicate that with the person handling it for you. Or if you're doing it yourself, just be ready with that kind of info because you're going to need it.
Exactly. You nailed it on the head. They suggest having 3 dates that you are working with. You guys were fantastic, and you were just like, earliest possible, weekdays if possible. Like, you gave me some parameters, but you gave me a lot of freedom to work within those parameters, and I think we were able to get a pretty good voyage out of that. But yes, definitely. That and cabin preference. There are 3 types of cabins. There is the standard cabin. It sleeps 5, but that's the one that you've seen in the pictures that has the bunk beds built into the wall. Then you have the Galaxy class suite. Weirdly, that only sleeps 4. But you get like a bar area and you get more space in space. And then you have the Grand Captain suite, which sleeps 8 adults, or up to 8 adults. And that one has 2 bathrooms and a bar. So you have a lot more space in that one. But that one's very limited. There's only 2 Grand Captain suites per voyage. So what we saw in early booking is that Grand Captain suites were booked out for March and April.
They were, yeah.
They were completely booked out. So,
they went quick.
Yeah, and so did the Galaxy class suites as well. So,
and there's only 4 Galaxy class suites, right? 2 Grand Captain, 4 Galaxy class, and then the rest were standard cabins.
But either way, it's an incredibly limited number of rooms.
It is.
Everybody is trying to secure right now. So you have to be very flexible, and you have to prioritize what is most important to you. Initially, when we were talking, we were trying to get you and your group into the Grand Captain suite because you had a group of 8 people. But we learned that the people that had early booking prior to annual pass holders, they booked up all of the Grand Captain suites for our booking period. So we had to adjust.
Was the Club 33, Golden Oaks residents, the big spenders anyways, kind of, you know.
Yes.
So well, that totally makes sense that all the suites... Yeah, no, that makes sense. It jives completely.
It made sense, but what I made sure to do was to get from you what your priority was, and your priority was getting in as early as possible. And so we were able to then pivot and say, okay, we're going to book the earliest voyage possible. Date is the priority, and then the room type after that. And so I think we came up pretty good. So keep that in mind. Be flexible, but know what your priorities are when you're booking. The next thing is things that you're going to need to know when you're, or going to have to decide on when you're booking. There are 2 dinner times. There's 5:30 p.m. and there's 8 p.m. They say do not be late because there is going to be live entertainment specifically for the 5:30. I don't know if it's different for the 8. I don't know. They said specifically for the 5:30, don't be late. I think
like, because you're on more of a time crunch to be out of there.
I think so.
Because you have to reset for the next one. So yeah, I think that's why it's more important the early one is absolutely on time. Because with the late one, if you show up late, like you can stay later and it's not as big of a deal.
Right.
But when
they're not you're
sandwiched in, but they're not going to let you stay later if you're in the early one and you show up late. They might rush you, but they'll be like, you got to be out by this time. Sorry.
Yeah, they were very much about like you need to be on time for these things, or you will miss out.
Yeah, so, the timing, like even the itinerary, the sample itinerary they gave us, where they like it said you're out at 10:30. I saw ours. We're out at 9:30 on the third day. It's early. Yeah, I checked on the My Disney Experience app, and I was like, oh, an hour earlier. Wow, that's funny. Okay, they want us out.
On the email with the full details of your booking, it says 10 a.m. is the standard checkout time.
Oh, okay.
So I'm curious why it says 9:30.
I wonder. And I wonder if they changed it since then. I looked the other night after we booked.
Thinking you're going to be
late. But the first night after we booked, I was up late because I was still just so excited. So I went and I added all everybody to the My Disney Experience app. I was like, no, I want to see it on my phone. I want to see it. So I went through and added everybody, and then I was looking through, and I was like, oh, 9:30. That's early.
Yeah. But it was so, I mean, I was the same way. I was like, we got to get this in My Disney Experience, because like everybody online was posting their My Disney Experience screenshot.
That's what I wanted.
Like,
That's like, as dorky as that sounds, I wanted to post my screenshot too.
Yeah, you do. It's like a badge of honor, especially after the day we had.
Oh yeah.
So yes, you're going to want to know what your dinner seating preference is, whether it's the first one at 5:30 or the second one at 8 o'clock. There are other things that you can add on when you're booking. One of those is Memory Maker. So just like when you take a typical Disney vacation, they will have PhotoPass photographers available and taking pictures. So if you want to commemorate that, you can add on Memory Maker. Captain's Table, which is a incredibly hot commodity. We found out that I believe there's 11 seats per like dinner time per night. So it's incredibly limited.
Yeah, that one. And that's yeah, I'm a little sad we missed out on that one, but it's fine. It's fine.
Because it's actually a pretty good like value.
Well, last time when we were talking, I threw it out that I thought it might be like 100 or 200 more per person. That's what I was expecting. Different courses, you're at a special table, and $30. $30 isn't bad at all.
Not bad at all. So yeah, you can add that on if it's available. If it isn't, they said that what you can do is you can try back at like 90 days or 60 days prior to voyage and see if somebody canceled by chance. Okay. Not likely, but it could happen. So I'll be calling back and checking for you guys. Cool. So that's something that you should add on when you're booking. Don't wait to add Captain's Table because it is such a hot commodity. And then the last thing is travel protection, but we can get into that later when we're talking about like cancellations and stuff, because it's its own beast.
Okay.
There are 3 things that you can add on 60 days prior to booking, and that is the typical Galaxy's Edge experiences, which is Savi's Workshop, the Droid Depot, and Oga's Cantina. From what I was told, and I do not take my word for this because it could absolutely change by the time they actually start voyages, but the Savi's Workshop or Savi's Workshop experience should be not exclusive is not the right word, but
a little more private.
Should only be in there. Yeah, it's private, so you should only be in there with other people from your voyage.
That's cool.
Seems really cool.
And it's not like, as far as we know, it doesn't cost anything extra above the normal price for that, right? It's just part of one of the perks. Same price. So as far as we know so far.
$219.99 plus tax for Savi's Workshop, the $99 plus tax for Droid Depot, and then Oga's is
got 45 minutes. Whatever you spend at Oga's.
Whatever you can spend in 45 minutes. And you can do some damage in Oga's.
Oh yeah, I've done it.
And then the last thing that you can add while you're booking, or you can do this after the fact, is a pre or post voyage stay at a Disney World resort. So the way that it'll work is if you decide to stay either on either end of it or both ends of it, Disney will transport your luggage from the existing resort to the Starcruiser, or from the Starcruiser to your next resort.
That's exactly what I need. So I didn't mention it because I don't have my details quite down yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to do like a 4-day park ticket and maybe stay at like a value resort the night before. That way I can leave my bags and have them, exactly what you're saying, have them transported to the Starcruiser and just hang out in Batuu during that day. And then 1 o'clock, when the rest of my group arrives and we can all go check in, I don't know if I can just walk right over, but I'll probably take like an Uber or something from the parking lot of Studios Park around the corner to the Galactic Starcruiser.
You're going to Uber to space.
Yeah. So, but I'm going to end up doing exactly like you're saying. And then afterwards, I'll probably stay 3 more days. I don't know if I'll stay on resort or not, but for sure I'm probably going to do a value resort just for that luggage transfer, just so I don't even have to worry about it. I can go hang out, spend my morning from opening till 1 on Batuu, hanging out and meeting people, and then start my Galactic Starcruiser. So it's going to be so exciting. Yeah.
Okay, so that's all of the stuff, the information that you're going to need to know, and obviously you're going to need a credit card to book. So the way that payments are going to work, it is a 20% deposit if you are booking more than 90 days prior to your voyage. And right now we are 5 months out. So
everybody's 90 days.
Yes. But just for last minute, if you're doing last minute bookings sometime next year, if you're booking less than 90 days before, it is full payment.
And so that's actually really nice, and I don't think a lot of people realize that the 20% deposit thing exists. People get that sticker shock and they see oh, it's $6,000 for the whole room. But with that deposit and being able to pay it off, right now we're in that small window, but once general bookings open up, I think we expect them to probably be a year out, or at least to as far as the calendar shows on the website. But eventually they'll be able to book a year out. But if you put 20% down, you have a year to pay that off. That makes it so much more affordable and manageable for a lot of families to get out there and do it. So it's something I want like people to realize.
Yeah. Yep. So you have to put the 20% down, and then your final payment is due 90 days prior to voyage. But you can make payments along the way if you want to. You don't have to do the 20% down and then pay the remaining 80% all at once. You can piece it out however you want to. So you can kind of make your own payment plan if you really want to.
That's cool.
So yeah, it makes it a lot more palatable.
Yeah, it really does.
Trying to break it out monthly like that. So yes, so 90 days prior to your voyage is kind of like, it's the most important date aside from when you're there. What they're doing is essentially locking everything down at 90 days. So you can make changes, you can do all kinds of things prior to 90 days. Once you get within that 90-day window, if you're trying to remove somebody from your reservation or make changes, you may incur some penalties for that. So keep that in mind. If you were to cancel and you're more than 90 days out from your voyage, everything is refundable except for any fees that you incur from third-party suppliers. So some travel agents charge planning fees. I don't, but some do. And you're paying that directly to them. Disney is not taking your money and then giving it to them. You're paying it directly to them. So that's not refundable. Gotcha. Trip insurance is not refundable. So once you add trip insurance, you have 14 days to remove it and get your money back. But otherwise, if you're canceling, say 90 days out, you forfeit that money. It's pretty cheap, and I'll talk about that in a second. But then everything else from there, your main package price is fully refundable more than 90 days out. When you are 31 to 89 days prior to your voyage, 50% penalty. So you only get back 50% of your package price. And then if you are 30 days or less, you get nothing back.
Oh, wow. So that's why that insurance is worth it.
Clutch. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, it came to like what, $80 like $85 a person for our group. That's going to vary based on your package, I'm sure.
No, it doesn't. It's standard.
Oh no.
The way that insurance works for any Disney vacation. Well, Disney cruise might be different, but for standard for Disney vacations, the way that trip insurance works with the company that they use, it's $82.50 per adult, $6 per kid.
Oh wow, what's up with that?
I know, it's really cheap.
They're way less likely to cancel.
Yeah. So trip insurance, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, I don't really need it. I'm definitely going to go. But with the way that this is working and you have to have everything locked in 90 days prior. And, we're kind of in the middle of a global pandemic still.
Yes. I'm typically not. I normally don't do any of the extended warranty, any of that kind of stuff. Yeah. I'm like, no, get that out of my face. I don't want it. Yeah. But in this case, yeah, we're still in a pandemic. We don't know what's coming our way, unfortunately. And with travel, that could go either way. Who knows what's going to happen? So I felt it it was just worth it. It was just peace of mind knowing that I won't get screwed over if something happens. I'll at least be able to get my money back, or especially for something this expensive too. It was totally worth it. Totally worth it. I definitely recommend it to anybody who's booking.
Yes. I'm with you too. I'm usually like, I don't need extra insurance. And I'm a travel agent. I'm supposed to sell you trip insurance. But for something like this, like, it's a no-brainer. It's $82.50 per person, and you're already spending, upwards of $5,000 on this. Like, it's a small investment to protect yourself. And what trip insurance does is, if you were to have to cancel your trip for reasons like injury, illness, loss of life, or loss of job, then you're covered. You have a lot more wiggle room than you would if you didn't have the trip insurance. Like I said, if you were canceling 30 days before your voyage, like, you don't get anything. You paid the money and you don't get to experience it. So,
oh, no.
Especially right now with the pandemic, I highly recommend doing the trip insurance. We did trip insurance, and like I said, I'm usually like, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't be like that, right? But yeah, so trip insurance is clutch in this. I highly recommend it. That's it. So that's not it. Like, we've been talking here for a little while now, but
oh yeah, But I mean, that's
a lot
what
of
you should
information.
expect. Yeah, that's what you should expect on your booking. Stuff that you should really consider is definitely recommend the trip insurance. Have a bunch of dates ready to go, and you need all that information. You need the addresses, ages, emails. If you have the My Disney account info already set up for everybody, those email accounts you're gonna need. Yeah, and
So
just
they
be prepared to
recommend
wait on hold.
endlessly.
Yeah, and then be turned away and have to start over. Or you could get a travel agent to do it for you if you don't have that time in your life to do that all day, which I know,
And
again,
we'll
I
get turned
didn't.
away for you.
Exactly. You can get, you handle the rejection for us.
After the first time it happened, I was like, I'm sorry, what? And then by the fifth time, I was
And so
oh,
the other
open?
part, you had mentioned
No.
travel agent fees and planning fees.
Yes.
Your services are free for us, the guests.
Yes,
It,
absolutely.
going through you did not cost me and my group anything extra, which is another thing I want to nail into the heads at home listening. Like, guys, someone can do this for you and it doesn't cost you anything extra. That is their job. You collect a commission from Disney. And so whether you think you said whether we use it or not, we're paying for it, right? I think is what you said last time. So
if you've ever given Disney money for a Disney vacation, if you've ever gone on a vacation, period, to anywhere, to Disney, to Universal, on a cruise, on an all-inclusive, just staying at a regular hotel on a weekend getaway, you paid them extra for using a travel agent, even if you didn't use a travel agent.
That's what those little extra hidden fees that add up go towards, probably, right?
Yeah, it's all baked in. So Disney will pay me a commission for booking your trip, but you would have paid Disney the same amount if you had used me or if you hadn't used me and you'd gone directly.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people don't know that. I didn't know that until recently. And I have been going to Disney regularly for 20 years now. So I just learned this in the last couple months, thanks to you. So yeah, everyone at home, you should know that. And it's there. Use it. It is a really cool tool to save you hassle and headache. So yeah, definitely recommend it.
I think there's just a stigma around travel agents. We think about travel agents from the 90s.
There is.
They have a little hut set up.
The little booth at the front of the grocery store or whatever.
Yes, and that's what I thought about it too. And I actually had somebody help book one of our vacations a few years back to Hawaii, because I was like, I don't know anything about Hawaii. And she was like, okay, I can help you. And she didn't charge me anything. I was like, what? Really? And then once I started going to Disney, I've been using travel agents, and it's wonderful because travel agents will, I don't think we talked about this. The phone line's open to book at 7 a.m. Eastern time. So for you, that was 4 a.m.
That was 4 a.m. for me.
For me, it was 6 a.m., so it wasn't too bad. But things like that, getting up early and calling in and doing these are the things that travel agents do. Getting dining opens up at 5:45 in the morning, I believe, right now. And so for me, I have to get up at 4:45 in order to get in and book dining reservations for my clients.
Oh,
so,
wow. I know a lot of West Coasters don't want to do that.
You would be up at 2:45 in the morning trying to snag, Cinderella's Royal Table.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Or Boga's Cantina.
I don't want to do that. And honestly, that's what's kept me away from going to Disney World as much. I mentioned that last time we talked was that it just seems like a lot. It's a lot of stuff to plan and think about, and I'm a busy dude. I don't have time for all of that. I don't want to get up that early and worry and stress about it. We'll let you do that. Thank you very much.
I'll happily do it for you. It doesn't cost you anything. And I love doing it. Honestly, planning Disney trips before I became a travel agent, it was the best part of my vacation was planning a trip. And I would get in there and I would say, okay, we're going to go do this day, and we're going to do these reservations. We're going to plan everything out. And then a week before the trip, I would get super bummed out. My husband's like, what's wrong? I'm like, well, the planning's over. I was like, that means the trip will be over and then all the fun is done. And so I had the opportunity to become a travel agent. And so I was like, I could plan for other people and I could do this nonstop, and I'm not having to spend my own money to do it every time.
That's perfect.
Do that. Yeah.
That is perfect. That's great.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's fun. I enjoy it. And yeah, we joke about the 12 and a half hours on the phone on Thursday, but honestly, I don't mind it. It is my job to do this for my clients, and I just want to make sure that my clients get what they want and that they're happy. And if that means sitting on hold for the entire day, okay, I'll do it. It's not a problem.
And you'd said you were using multiple phone lines too, right, to try and get through. See, I don't have multiple phone lines to try that with. So again, there's another advantage, more more chances to try. This is your gig. This is your stuff. I love it.
Yeah,
I love how
what I do.
and keeping us, like, you did such a good job of keeping us updated throughout the day on every little thing. I was like, this is great. Like, the fact I felt guilty that we don't have to pay anything. I know we're paying for it in the trip, but like I kind of felt like, oh my god, you're doing so much. So it's all appreciated. It's cool to know, and I want everyone at home to know how useful a travel agent can be, and that they should reach out to you if they're planning, especially with any Disney vacation. For sure, they should hit you up. But like specifically for the topic of this video with the Star Cruiser, you've gone through it. You know what to expect. You've got a cool booking form that's ready to go. You can gather the information. You're an awesome communicator. So I definitely recommend everybody at home hit up Sara, check her out. Carry On the Magic Travel is probably the easiest way, or is that the best way, just through there? Carry On the Magic?
Carry On the Magic. It's carryonthemagicvacations.com is our website.
There you go, right down below.
Or you can reach out directly to me on Instagram or TikTok. I've got like a Linktree that has all of our links in it.
I hope you all enjoyed my chat with travel agent SaraJayMac. Make sure you're subscribed, leave this video a thumbs up, and come back for more. We're going to have a lot more Galactic Starcruiser talk. So until next time, don't be a moof milker, be the spark.